Hi there, this is Chris, Chap in the Cap, Motolegends. Today I'm going to talk to you about a new for 2021 jacket from the Swedish brand Halvarssons. It's a jacket, it's a laminated jacket, and it's called the Vansbro. So Halvarssons is not new to the laminate business. They've been making laminate jackets for many years, perhaps not as long as the Finnish company Rucker, but we have history with Halvarssons. We've been selling their jackets for 5 or 6 years. We've seen a number of their laminate suits and they work. Now, I'm going to have to take a bit of a diversion here because not everyone understands what I mean when I say laminate. This is going to be incredibly boring for those who have watched previous videos and those people who know already what laminates are, but if I don't explain what laminate is, then I'm underselling this jacket in a way. So there are two forms of waterproofing construction in a motorcycle jacket or pant. You either have a drop liner where you've got the outer fabric and the waterproof membrane hangs down from the seams, that's called a drop liner, or you have a laminated construction where the waterproof membrane is bonded or heat sealed onto the outer fabric. Now, laminate and drop liner, they have different qualities. Laminates tend to be on one level more waterproof. That's a little bit complicated because both a drop liner and a laminate will keep you dry. But what happens with a laminate jacket, because the membrane is up against the outer fabric, water can't get into this outer fabric and through this outer fabric. With a drop liner, what can happen is if you're in the rain for 3 or 4 hours, water seeps in. It doesn't technically reach the body because it's protected by the membrane. But what happens is in prolonged rain, you can be riding along with your jacket. We call it a state that is wet out. It's just soaking wet, water's swirling around in it, and that can make you feel very cold. You actually technically won't get wet, but this wet jacket, as it were, that's going to allow heat from the body to be conducted away, so a jacket that gets overly wet is not as warm as a laminated jacket, or a drop liner jacket will not be as warm as a laminated jacket. The drop liner jacket has some advantages because it's going to have extra air gaps in, it's a little bit warmer and so on, but the laminate jacket tends to be preferred by someone who's doing heavy miles, either heavy miles or they're doing a regular commute. And the reason that commuters like laminate jackets is that even if your commute into work is only an hour, if it rains heavily for that hour, your jacket can still get wet. So let's say you've got a drop liner jacket. The water soaks in. You come to put it on in the evening at 5 o'clock to go home on a winter's evening, and you're going to often find yourself putting on a wet, damp jacket. And it's not nice going home in a wet jacket. If you've got a drop liner jacket, because it's not absorbed as much water, it's going to be drier. It'll have dried out in an hour or so in the office or at work, and you'll be putting on a dry jacket in the evening. So laminate jackets, they're not the be-all and end-all. We still think they're not the right choice for maybe 80% of motorcyclists. But if you are someone who does 15,000 or more miles a year, then I think you've got to go laminate. And if you're someone who commutes every day and you've experienced that feeling of putting on a wet jacket in the evening, then a laminate may also be for you. So this jacket, this is called the Vansbro, new jacket for 2021. And it's very much a touring and commuting suit, or commuting and touring jacket rather. It replaces a jacket called the Valkyr, which was in the range for a couple of years. Now, I have an admission to make. We sold the Valkyr for a couple of years, but we never really liked it. And we were often at pains when people came into the shop and they asked to try the Valkyr, we would point out the weaknesses with it. One was that it just didn't have a very nice fit. It was a very baggy jacket. Now, if you happen to be, I don't want to be rude, but if you happen to be a little bit more on the portly side, it might have worked well. But if you were slim, there was no way of adjusting it. It didn't look right, it didn't feel right, and in the wind it would flap around. The other weakness with the Valkyr was here at the neck. It had a very stiff piece of textile here, and I think that was a laminated fabric. And what would happen is when you sat on the bike, it would push up into the neck. It just made it, at times, and for some people, an unbearable fit. So those are the things we didn't like. But I'm happy to say that this jacket is much more fitted, it's a much more shaped jacket, and here at the neck we've now got a piece of neoprene, so they've overcome the main weaknesses, the main problems that we had with the Valkyr. So let's talk through the jacket in a little bit more detail. The outer fabric is a 640 denier polyamide. That's a perfectly acceptable weight of fabric. It makes for a very soft jacket. Now, in the past, some Halvarssons jackets have had too heavy a coating of what we call a DWR. That's a durable waterproof repellent. And what happens with any waterproof garment, you've got the membrane that is the element that stops the water reaching the body, but then you have a coating on the outer surface of the jacket, and that stops water being absorbed. At times it looks like a bit of a trick, but when you pour water on, if I poured water onto this jacket, it would all pool into balls and run off. That's the durable water repellent. Sometimes Halvarssons have put on too thick a durable water repellent. It's been very effective, but it's made the jacket a little bit stiff and crunchy and not particularly nice to wear. This doesn't have a durable water repellent like that. It's still got the DWR, but the overall feeling is that this is still a lovely and soft and comfortable jacket to wear. Now, as a company, Halvarssons, we sometimes liken them to Volvo. A little bit on the dull side, perhaps, but they're very safety conscious, they're very sensible. Everything's about the functionality of the products they make. And I think we can say that about this jacket. So let's talk through the functional elements of this jacket. It's reinforced in all the key areas because they are so concerned with safety with a material that has been developed by Halvarssons that's called High-Art. It's an anti-abrasion lining, and that will go on the shoulders and in the elbows. And that material increases the strength of the outer fabric by 500%, so times 6. So this is, in anyone's book, an incredibly safe jacket. You've got level 2 armour in the shoulders and the elbows. I've got to say their armour is not the softest and nicest to wear. It does the job, but if you bought this jacket and you wanted to make it a little bit easier to live with, then there are other options. You could easily put something like the Sastec level 2 armour in this jacket. It would make it much nicer to live with. You've got a pocket for a back protector, but as with many brands, the back protector doesn't come as standard. Halvarssons produce their own. It's like a cut down surfboard. We don't like it. We would go for a D30 Viper. It's softer, it's nicer, it's more pliable. It's exactly the same level 2 safety standard. So that's the one that we would go for if you came to see us. In terms of other details, thermal liner. It's got a jacket that comprises Thinsulate and Outlast. Now, they are 2 premium branded proprietary makes of thermal layering. So there aren't many jackets that have got both of those. So it's fantastic that this jacket has both of those elements. The Thinsulate is just a very superior hollow form fibre that insulates the heat. Outlast is cleverer stuff. It's stuff that stores heat and then plays it back to the body when you need it. It doesn't add a lot of bulk, but it is very effective. It's very clever stuff. If there's a disappointment that we have, it's that this inner jacket, which zips into the jacket, cannot be worn as what we call a destination jacket. Now, on their drop liner version of this jacket, which is called the Veen, which is one of our favourite jackets, that jacket can be worn separately. You don't have to zip it in. It means that you can wear it in the morning to get heat into the jacket before you go out onto the bike. And it means when you get to the destination, you just take the outer jacket off and you can wear this jacket, walk around town in it, and it's still got some heat in it. So I think that's a little bit of a shame, but that's kind of the way it is. In terms of other features, venting, I have mentioned already that the laminate jackets tend to be a little bit better vented, and that's because when you have a hole in a laminated jacket or a zip for a vent zip, the air can then pass straight through to the body. With a drop liner jacket, you have a hole, but then the air has still got to pass through a waterproof membrane. So laminate jackets tend to be better vented. Now on this one, we've got 2 vents here up the chest. We've got a permanently open back vent that's underneath a placket, so water can't get in there. But vents work much better when you have an exhaust vent, because otherwise what happens, air comes in, it just puffs the jacket up. It's not very nice, it's not very comfortable. You need the air to be able to come in and go out. And with a permanently open exhaust vent at the back, that can happen. You've also got here on the sleeves, and I'm going to talk about the sleeves in greater detail in a minute, because the sleeves work particularly well for gloves. But once you've got this done up and you've got your gloves in, you can then pull these zips down, and that also becomes an air vent as well. In terms of pockets, you've got 2 zip pockets on the outside. Are they waterproof? Yes, they should be, but if I had something that I was particularly keen on keeping dry, I would use the inside Napoleon pocket. There's also another pocket, a kind of net pocket within the liner inside. You've got some high-vis detailing here. This is black Scotch-Lite type material, and you've got some reflective material here. In terms of the adjustment, mentioned that the collar was a problem on the Valkyr. It's certainly not here. But what is also nice, and I've not seen this before on a Halvarssons jacket, you've got a double adjuster. So you can create extra volume here around the neck with this Velcro pad, but you've then got another one here that you can tighten and loosen through this loop rather. You've got adjusters at the waist, you've got adjusters here around the arms, and the purpose of these adjusters is if you take the thermal out, you don't want the jacket or the arms flapping about in the wind, so you can adjust these and make it tighter. At the end of the sleeves, we've got, so the zip will come down to the end, and then you've also got a Velcro adjuster. That's important. This is the way that we would want it to be. This is the way that we would expect it to be on a touring and commuting suit, because if you are out in cold weather or the rain, you want to get the cuff of your glove inside. So you undo the zip, you put the glove inside, you then bring the zip down, and then you cinch it tight with the sleeves. So that's the adjusters. You've got here a nice little feature. This is a storm collar. It kind of fastens up with a magnet there. I don't know whether you could see that, but it kind of pulls too, and then you've just got to match it up with the Velcro there. Not everyone likes high vis, so this jacket comes with a yellow one, or high vis one, and then a black one. You've got some nice little concertina panels at the back of the sleeves here, so that's another aid to making this a comfortable jacket. We've not seen that on a Halvarssons jacket before, so that's a nice thing to see. Didn't mention in terms of safety, so I'm jumping about a wee bit, but I've just remembered this is an AA level jacket. Now that's under the latest regulations, EN 17092. That is what one would expect. There are very few, in fact there's not currently one on the market. There will be one soon. There's no such thing, or there hasn't been historically such a thing as a AAA rated textile waterproof jacket. So this is exactly where I would expect it to be. This is a jacket that you can have every confidence in terms of an item of protective wear. So that's pretty much all the detail on the jacket. Now, the pant. This is a new jacket, but there's not a new trouser to go with it, because they're carrying over a trouser that's one of our favourite trousers. It's called the Wish Pant. It's been in the range for a number of years, and we just love that trouser. In fact, we match it with a number of other jackets across the Halvarssons range, and even if you were to buy from us the Veen dropliner jacket, we always choose to match it with the Wish Pant because it's just so comfortable. It fits really nicely. Nobody ever has a complaint with it. It also comes, importantly, in short, regular and long length. So there's almost no one who we can't get to fit well in the Wish Pant. So the good news is that brand new jacket, but it goes with a pant that is tried and trusted. In terms of the jacket, it comes in two colorways. It comes in all black, and it comes black with some olive panels. So if you want a little bit more color, you've got that in there if you so wish. Same price. The jacket costs £499. The trouser is £400, so you've got a suit there, £900, 2-year warranty. I don't think you can really go wrong. I just come back to the thing that I mentioned earlier on, the Veen's jacket. Now the Veen is a drop liner jacket. It's kind of the drop liner equivalent to this, but for many people I still think it's going to be the better jacket, even though in certain circumstances this is going to have better waterproof qualities. Very few of us find ourselves in that situation where we are in the rain for 4 or 5 hours. I mean, I think the last time it happened to me was 4 years ago. It just doesn't happen a lot. So for many people, the drop liner Veen, which we actually still match with the Wish Pant, will be a better option. So if you're looking at this, if you're able to come and see us, then I think you should try them both on, because whilst this has superior waterproofing qualities, the Veen is more comfortable still. This is a comfortable jacket, but the Veen's even more comfortable, and the Veen, for various reasons, is going to be warmer too. So that's it. That's the Vansbro. It's a fantastic jacket. I think Halvarssons have done a great job, but before you take the leap, look at the Veen as well. So if you'd like to see more laminated jackets, or maybe more jackets from Halvarssons, then visit the website motolegends.com. If you want to learn more about the Vansbro in particular, then if you click on one of the links on the screen, sometimes they're up there, sometimes they're down there, that will take you directly to the relevant page on the website. Now there you can check out the spec in a little bit more detail, you can check availability, and obviously if you really like the jacket, you can buy one there and then. When you do buy from us, we try to make the process as simple, straightforward and risk-free as we possibly can. There's no delivery charge on any item of protective wear that you buy from us. Returns are totally free, and what's more, we give you a full 12 months in which to decide whether you do want to return something to us. We have the best price guarantee in the business. Now, John Lewis is rightly famed for its never known the undersold price promise. we go one stage better. If you can find anyone selling anything that we sell at a price that is lower than ours, we will beat that retailer's price by a full 10%. Now, if the retailer is in the EU and not in the UK, we will match their landed price. There are a few terms and conditions associated with what we call a price beat, nothing particularly onerous, but if you are going to price beat us, then I suggest you visit the website and check out what those terms and conditions are. If in the future you'd like to receive bulletins from us about new products, then if you go to the website, at the top of every page, there's a piece of script that says newsletter sign up, click on there, within seconds you'll be in business. If, however, you prefer to get your information videographically, that is to say in this form, then we'd be simply delighted if you want to become a subscriber, and you can do that by clicking on the button below. Now, this is 2021, we're recording this in 2021. In 2020, we gave away a Steve McQueen tribute bike, a Mux 125cc machine, to somebody who was a YouTube subscriber. This year, 2021, a little bit different, we're going to be giving away a Fantic Caballero 250cc scrambler to somebody who follows us on Facebook. It's a fantastic little bike, so if you want to stand a chance of winning it this year, we're going to give it away at the end of the year, then go to our Facebook page and obviously become a follower. I'd like to finish today with a little bit about our fabulous shop here at Motolegends. Now, we're based about a mile from the centre of Guildford, a mile from the railway station. As I've said, the shop is fairly small. It's got a small footprint, but it's attached to our warehouse where we have more than £2 million worth of stock arranged across 3 floors. So technically, this is the UK's second largest motorcycle apparel shop. But we think that we're far more than just the amount of merchandise we have here in the building. We're all about service, we're all about personal fitting. Check us out on Trustpilot, we have the best 5-star ranking in the business. Come and see us, we'll serve you only the finest Italian illy coffee, or we'll serve you proper Yorkshire tea in a proper Yorkshire teapot. It's not a Yorkshire teapot, it's just an ordinary teapot actually. And you never know, you might get the opportunity to taste one of Sean's mum's delicious motorcycle shaped shortbread biscuits. Anyway, this has been Chris, I hope to talk to you again soon.